Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A mutated strain of the virus, believed to be even more contagious, is found in the U.S. for the first time. We'll tell you where health professionals made the discovery. But first, another life gone too soon, taken by COVID-19. This afternoon, we remember Dearborn Heights Mayor Dan Paletko. Mayor Paletko died late Tuesday from complications associated with COVID-19. The longtime politician was just 70 years old and had a year left in his term as mayor. Nick Monticelli has a closer look at his life, legacy, and the reaction to his sudden death.
Good afternoon. You know, Mayor Paletko served Dearborn Heights since 2004 as their mayor, but didn't have to. He chose a life of public service, even having a good paying job in the private sector. We've also now learned that he didn't spend much time in the hospital. He was only in there since Monday.
Hello, I'm Mayor Dan Paletko.
In what could very well be the last recording of Dan Paletko, the mayor wished Dearborn Heights residents happy holidays and shared his thoughts on the year that's been.
This has been a year like no other for all of us, and the most challenging and difficult in my political career.
That video was posted to Facebook on December 17th. His colleagues say just this past Monday, he went into the hospital thinking he had pneumonia.
He had gone into the hospital on Monday and for what he thought was pneumonia, and had some just minor issues, not even close to thinking it's anything COVID related, only to find out later that night that he had unfortunately COVID and passed away late last night.
Paletko was 70 years old and served as the mayor here since his appointment in 2004. He left his post in Michigan's House of Representatives to take over, but before that, he was a longtime member of the Dearborn Heights City Council. Before public service, Paletko worked at Ford, where he was a financial manager. He had degrees from U of M, Wayne State, and the University of Detroit. Councilman Dave Abdullah says the mayor could have stayed in the private sector with a much larger salary.
He could have had any job he'd have wanted, intellect-wise, but he didn't. He chose to serve the community and serve the city, and he served it very, very humbly. He did some very, very nice things for the city. He ran it professionally, he ran it well, and he ran it with his all. He gave it his all.
Paletko leaves behind two daughters, both in their 30s. I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Thank you, Nick. Now, due to the untimely passing of Mayor Paletko, the city of Dearborn Heights will swear in a new mayor. We have video here, brand new, from where it will happen. Preparations are already underway, and we will be monitoring that, and we'll update you on later editions of Local 4 News. Louisiana Congressman-elect Luke Letlow has died after being diagnosed with COVID-19. The 41-year-old announced his COVID diagnosis on Facebook back on December 18th and wrote that he was home following CDC guidelines, quarantine protocols, and doctor recommendations. Days later, he posted that he was undergoing treatment at the hospital before his office released a statement on the 23rd of December, 5 days after this started, saying he had been transferred to another medical facility. Friends and family say their final goodbyes to Wayne County Sheriff Benny Napoleon. A private, socially distanced funeral is happening right now in Detroit. It comes after 2 days of public visitations. Napoleon died on December 17th at the Henry Ford Hospital, 3 weeks after going on a ventilator with COVID-19. He was 65 years old. Mourners are remembering the life of Sheriff Napoleon.
Our hearts are hurting, and yet they are happy. Hurting because we are without the physical presence of a brother beloved. We're happy because he's now free.
You can watch Sheriff Napoleon's funeral on clickondetroit.com. We have a link right there on the homepage. Well, let's take a look at the latest coronavirus numbers. On the national front, the United States passed 19,530,000 coronavirus cases, and more than 338,000 people have died from the virus. These are numbers straight from Johns Hopkins University database. And here at home in our state, we are expecting new case numbers this afternoon. Yesterday, the state reported more than 3,400 new cases and 193 additional deaths. Meanwhile, the country is dealing with a record number of COVID hospitalizations, and to make matters worse, that mutated strain of the virus, believed to be even more contagious, has been found in the U.S. for the first time. Kerry Sanders takes a closer look in this report.
The healthcare workers you see behind me began lining up here just after midnight. I'm at Holy Cross Health in Fort Lauderdale, where they're waiting on a first-come, first-served basis to get their vaccinations. The promise nationwide was at this point we'd have 20 million people vaccinated, but it's now just slightly more than 2 million. And while they're grateful to be able to get the vaccinations here, they also point out it has been an erratic federal system. The rollout here has been extremely slow and confusing.
I think that I want to see the good in people, and I want to hope that people are doing their best, but at this point, I don't know if their best is really good enough right now.
You expected more from America?
I think so.
And all of this happening ever so slowly as the first patient in the United States in Colorado has now tested positive for that variant strain of coronavirus, one that's considered highly contagious and up until now had not been seen here in the United States. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Fort Lauderdale.
Britain authorizes a second COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine was developed by Oxford University and UK-based drug maker AstraZeneca. Britain is the first country to greenlight the easy-to-handle shot. The vaccine is expected to be relied upon in many countries because of its low cost, availability, and ease of use. And it can be kept in a regular refrigerator rather than the ultra-cold storage the other vaccines require. Partial results from the study suggest the shots are safe and about 70% effective, so not quite up there with 95 and 96% for the other two, but still good. Check is in the mail. The U.S. Treasury says the coronavirus stimulus payments are going out, hitting bank accounts today, and then snail mail, provided the mail service is up and running at 100%, later this week. But how much will people end up getting? That is still to be determined. Chris Pallone is on Capitol Hill with a closer look at what's happening in the Senate.
The first deposits Americans will see will be $600. Senate Democrats hope to vote on a bill which would raise them to $2,000, but that might not happen.
Ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
On a day when Vice President-elect Kamala Harris got the coronavirus vaccine and urged Americans to do the same, President-elect Joe Biden slammed President Trump's effort to get people vaccinated quickly and detailed his plan to vaccinate 100 million people in 100 days.
I'm going to use my power under the Defense Production Act when I'm sworn in order private industry to accelerate the making of the materials needed for the vaccines as well as protective gear.
On Capitol Hill, despite support from President Trump, Senate Democrats and a handful of Senate Republicans, efforts to raise coronavirus relief payments appear to be going nowhere. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked the Democrats' first attempt to pass a House-backed bill.
Is there objection to the modification?
Object.
Objection is heard.
Then McConnell introduced a bill to raise the payments, but included two other provisions, pet causes championed by President Trump unrelated to COVID relief, which Democrats will likely not agree to. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling it a blatant attempt to deprive Americans of a $2,000 survival check. It sets up a Senate showdown today on a vote to override the president's veto on a key military spending bill.
I would urge my colleagues to support this legislation one more time.
Vermont Independent Bernie Sanders vowing to block the military bill until senators get to vote on increasing the stimulus checks. Time is running out. This session of Congress ends on Sunday. So if Congress manages to raise the amount from $600 to $2,000, the Treasury Secretary said people who get the $600 deposit or check will get a second payment to make up the difference. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
All right, switching gears, let's take a quick look at our forecast with Andrew, because as we look live outside, it's wet, it's cold, it's damp, it's a little bit of everything, Andrew.
Exactly right, Jason, especially earlier this morning. But the key word you mentioned, damp, wet, that is the situation we have right now. Other than snowy and icy, which was what we had earlier. Fortunately, that means an improving situation out there, believe it or not. Rather than very slippery weather, we're looking at slightly slippery weather because of the wet conditions that are out there now. Low-hanging clouds over downtown Detroit with 41 degrees. Temperatures way above freezing at the moment. Back over to Storm Tracker 4, you can see all that area of green. That is all light to moderate rain that has been falling over the past hour or so. The bits of frozen precipitation coming in the form of freezing rain, sleet, and snow confined to the northern tip of Sanilac County. So for folks there, be careful traveling to or through that region. But most of southeast Michigan, including downtown Detroit, looking more wet than snowy and icy. And that's the case for this afternoon as well, with temperatures staying above freezing in the low 40s. So the thaw out and the gradual melt does continue. But what about later tonight? How much colder does it get? Any more slippery weather on the way for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? That part of your forecast in the next 7 days coming up.
New information this afternoon on the blast that rocked downtown Nashville on Christmas Day. In a police report obtained by NBC News, Anthony Quinn Warner's girlfriend told authorities way back in August of 2019 that he was building bombs in his now infamous RV. So police went to Warner's home where they saw the RV, and the report says officers made quote-unquote unsuccessful attempts to speak with Warner, but witnessed no evidence of a crime. No additional information on Warner came in until his bomb went off. He died in the explosion. Investigators are working to determine what that bomb was made of. Still to come, 2 officers connected to the shooting death of Breonna Taylor could soon be fired. What a lawyer for one of those officers is saying about the move. But first, women take action in India. Why hundreds of them join the blockade of key highways leading to New Delhi.